All right, so I'm taking a look at a Geely M9 newly released here in China. It's a hybrid, and let's take a look at the windshield. So on the windshield, you have all the cameras, the usual cameras, and the radar sensor up there. And as you come to the bonnet, it's relatively flat, but then it has these creases here. As you get closer to the edges, it falls off, and the whole front looks kind of nice, kind of like boxy, not too curvy, but this lighting here gives it a kind of a Lishan vibe. But then it also has these sort of crystallized LEDs in there protruding through these cuts, and it makes it look a bit more elegant. And you come down here, you have the badging, and if we go to the left, you have your headlamps. So unlike other cars where the headlamps are placed down here, it's actually on the right below the daytime running lights, which is really cool. And you got three beams coming from there, and wow, they're really powerful, feels really hot. Sorry if I'm blinding you. And then I come down here and you got this air flow through cut out here to the tires for cooling purposes. And then you also have the parking sensors, front parking sensors or proximity sensors over there. And you come down here to the number placement area, and I like the place where the camera has been placed. If you don't look, you're not going to see it. It's right above the number plate. And if you look down here, you've got some sensors there as well for your emergency braking and all those other functions. So if I just step back a little, this is what we are seeing. And you have your parking sensors coming all the way to the edge. So that's really nice. This car has just arrived at the showroom, so the wheels are still covered, but we can still see through the transparent material, the design of the wheels, which is really nice. You got Goodyear tires here, and it comes in 265 45 rim 21 tires. And if we look in there, we've got air suspension. Not sure if the camera is doing justice because it's starting to get dark here. And if we move on to the side, we have a camera here, one camera there and another camera here. So that's kind of conventional on local Chinese cars now. So if I just step back a little, as you can see, it has this very nice boxy design, but it mimics the SUV designs that are coming out of China now. And if we get close, we have a conventional style rear view mirror. And as you can see, the blind spot monitor is this indicator here, which kind of looks like what Volvo started doing some years ago. As you know, Volvo is almost acquired by Geely. It's part of the Geely group now, and so some of the designs are very similar. Even if you look at the door handles, they're quite similar to what you have on Volvos. And as we move back, you have the rear tire, and then in there you can see your air suspension stuff going on there. Really cool. And we come to the charging department. So I like that it's not one of those electronic ones. Very simple to do. You press it, and then you have your fast and slow charging ports, and then to close it, you just push it yourself. Very easy. You don't have any anxiety of electronics failing. And I like that they have this very simple lip here, which will do a lot in preventing. It looks very small, but it will do a lot in preventing debris and dust from and mud from hitting the car. Now, if I just step back, one thing that is very clear here is you can see the blue lighting that indicates autonomous driving. It's an industry standard now here in China. And I like how these LEDs are protruding from these cutouts here, looking really nice. And if I step back a little bit, this is the rear. It's kind of pretty though. And if you look up here, it has a rear view camera up there, and you have the rear brake lights starting from here, cutting off here for the camera and continuing all the way there. And you've got your rear wiper hiding in there, if you can see it. And if I come down here, you come to the middle and you have your Geely badging, and you got daytime running lights running all the way to the end. And the front design of those protruding LED lights continues in the rear as well. Gives it a really nice touch when you're behind a vehicle. And it has this bold look. It's not too curvy. From the rear lights down, it's kind of like a straight design. But overall, I would say it looks nice. And then you got your number placement area. You got another camera here, and you got a button for opening your boot. We'll get to that in a second. And if you look down here, the car is actually quite high because it's got air suspension, so you can raise it and reduce the height. You've got M9 badging here to tell you it's an M9. And if I just go on to the side, it's a hybrid. So I showed you a while ago the charging port, and this now is it's locked right now. That is the side for topping up your gas. And if we look to the right hand side, it's going to be basically similar to the left hand side of the vehicle. So let's go and take a look at the interior of the car. So starting from the boot, if I just press that, it's going to open, and it goes up relatively fast. And if we look at the boot lid, it comes in plastic, but of course that shouldn't be a problem. It's not a super luxury car, and it's luggage you're going to put in here, not human beings, so it doesn't really matter. And then you have a button here, of course, for pushing to shut your boot lid. And if we go in here, this is the amount of space left for luggage if you have all the 6 seats up, as you can see. And if we look down here, there isn't enough extra storage here. It's got all these tire sealant and all other things that will make it easy for emergency situations. And then you have a tie down hook here, you have a speaker grill here, and you have another hook here where you can hang something. And it's all lined with this very nice carpet, so it's really cool. You got another tie down hook here. And if we look at these buttons, you got these buttons for increasing and reducing the height of the car with the air suspension. And you've got these for collapsing the seats, so you can, if you don't need the third row seats, you can collapse them. And then it's got one LED light in here for the boot. I'm not sure if this light is bright enough or good enough for the whole boot, but hey, you will need to test it at night to see how it works. So that's about it for the boot. And to shut it, you just press that, and then it shuts, and it goes down relatively fast as well. And the usual, nothing really special here. So we're going to take a look at the configuration of the door. So as you can see, it's got some really nice seals here to prevent debris and dust and noise from getting in the cabin. And if we look down here, it's got this very nice material. Not sure if it's leatherette, but it's some soft material, maybe Napa leather. And then you've got very nice ambient lighting here, hiding here, and you've got some really nice stitching, cross stitching here, which is kind of similar to what you have in some BYD models. And then we go to the door opening lever. It's a real lever, really nicely damped. You got aluminum speaker grill, and then you got your button for lowering and opening and closing your window. Then you have soft material here, and you've got this nice aluminum trim here, looking really nice. You've got another light here as well. And then as you go down below, it turns plastic, and you have your speaker grill down here. And as you can see, the door goes all the way down, and so it's going to be really good for rainy days. You're not going to soil your clothes when you try to get in. We come to the middle row seat. So as you can see, it's got lumbar support. It's got, of course, seat move forward and back. It's got seat recline button as well. You can see how high it is. And if you look in here, it's got a very easy way to get in, so it's not one of those complicated. And the door opening is very wide as well, so it's going to be very easy for passengers to get in this car. On the front driver's seat, you can see some buttons here, so if I press it, you can basically move the seat all the way forward for adjustment purposes and for convenience. And for the seat itself, it's perforated. It's got some very nice side supports, and it's very bouncy, and the cool seats are turned on, so even with my hands here, I can feel cool air coming through the seat, so that's really nice. And it's basically going to be the same. The wrappings have not been taken off yet, and you got a really nice headrest as well. And if I just step in here, so when I sit in the seat directly behind the front passenger, this is what I see. I like the design of the headrest here, and you've got a table right behind the passenger seat. It has a table here of course, for those long commutes or when you have to work or eat or do something. And the height is just kind of perfect for the passenger here, at least at my with my height. It's just kind of perfect. I'm 183 centimeters tall, and as you can see, I have loads of room, and leg room is really good as well. Still have so much space. If I press this button here like I did before, the front seat is going to go forward. You've got an armrest on this, on the side. Press it to release your cup holders, push to send them back. And while I'm here, let me just show you the functions here. So you've got two type C charging ports. You've got temperature and air conditioning controls here. You've got a refrigerator here, of course. For most of the 6-seaters coming out of China now have this function, so you can set the temperature cold for your fridge, and you press here to eject the fridge, and it comes all the way, and it's about the similar size to what other brands are offering. And you don't want it, you just push it back in. So that's it for the fridge, and the floor is completely flat, so it's going to be comfortable having passengers here, and they're not going to complain because there's going to be enough room for everyone. And if I take a look at the rear seats, there are full seats in the rear and spacing is adequate. I'm just going to go on the back there and see how it feels for someone my height. So sitting in the rear seat, as you can see, my legs are just about touching, and so if the front passenger moves their chair a little bit forward, I'm going to be really comfortable. But even in this state, I feel like I can sit here for hours. It's not one of those cramped seats that are not very useful. And on the side, you have a cup holder and a place to rest your phone. You got a speaker grill, and you've got seat controls here. So you got recline and all that kind of stuff. And then you have cool seats here as well, which is really nice. It's all plastic here, unlike other competitors. But hey, as long as something is not vibrating, it's going to be just as comfortable. And as you can see, it's not cramped in here at all. Maybe you can see it better on the opposite seat. So there's enough space in here, and the window is also quite big, so the passengers in the third row seats are not going to complain. It's not going to be just for kids because it's very spacious here. And at my height, 183 centimeters, even in the third row seat, I still have about one fist of space, so that's really useful for the passengers in the third row seat. And as you can see, as usual, you have a camera here for monitoring what's going on in the car, and you can actually shut it. So that's really nice. You've got some other sensors going on there. So that's really cool that you can actually shut them. And you've got this floating screen coming from the roof, just like you're on an airplane or some modern trains, just like it is on many Chinese cars now, with so much functionality. So your rear passengers are going to be entertained while they are sat here in the back. So yeah, no one's going to be bored traveling in this car because you've got this very nice screen to entertain your third row passengers. You got some speaker grills here. You've got your air vents here in the roof. Going to be easy to reach for everyone. Got your interior lighting. You got grab handles here, and you've got a panoramic sunroof from the rear all the way to the front, and it has shades as well, so you can actually press to shut the shades for both front and the rear. So let's move on to the front and see what the front has to offer. So I just opened the front seat to get in. The doors feel really good as well, and if we look at the front doors, its configuration is similar to the rear doors, and of course the driver is going to have a lot more for controlling the windows and mirrors and stuff like that. The configuration is basically similar, and of course the driver has the lumbar support and the recline buttons as well. And it's a very nice opening, easy to get in this car because the door goes quite high, so for taller drivers it's going to be very comfortable. Now if I just step in the driver's, oh, my massage seats are on right now, so let me continue from the top. So on the top you have, it's wrapped in plastic now, but I'm sure it's going to reveal vanity mirror, and I like that it's this plastic flip thing. As you can see, your light turns on both sides. It's not one of those flimsy materials, so well done from Geely. I prefer this system. And then you can see the material in there. It's not Napa leather or anything like that. It's what many manufacturers use on basically conventional cars, but it works, and that's what's going to reduce the cost of the car. And then you come up here, you have your hazard light button. You got a button to turn on you press here to turn on your interior lighting, and it turns on relatively fast as well. So it's touch sensitive, but it's not touching the light area itself. There's a separate area. You got your SOS button, and you've got these toggles here. I'm happy they are not touch sensitive, they are real buttons. So if I push it, you can see the sunshade coming up. You can actually feel and hear it. This is what I like. And you push it again and it goes back out. So all makes sense, and it's a mixture of modernity and conventional. You got your rear view mirror, which is adequate because the rear window is big enough, and you've got cameras all around the car, so that shouldn't be a problem. And on the side of the front passenger seat, the driver has some controls to be able to control the positioning of the seat. So that's really nice that even the driver or passengers behind the driver can do that without asking for assistance. And we come down here, you get a camera here, of course, like it's on many cars now for video conferencing and stuff like that. You've got your HUD. You can't see it clearly, I'm sure, but it's there. And then you have this very nice dash design. It's got a nice fabric material, and over here it's got a speaker grill on the top. And I like the color of the material they used. It looks really nice. And if we come down here to the passenger side, you've got a huge air vent, and you've got this huge screen, which is starting from the right side of the steering wheel all the way almost to the edge of the dash. And I like this configuration. It's not one of those 16 17-inch screens in the middle. It stretches all the way, and it's not one of those thin ones. It's a real screen that you can do stuff on. And look at how crisp it is. I'm sure the camera is not doing justice because it's getting dark here, but I can tell you this is a really bright, really clear, really crisp screen. I'll come to the screen in a second. And if you look behind the driver, although you have HUD, you also have this small screen right in the line of sight of the driver through the steering wheel, so you can see your charge situation and your remaining fuel and all that. Because it's a hybrid, you've got your other functionality, lighting, gearing, and the gearing is right in the middle. So you have that department, and then you go to the right and you can see your kilowatts, the power you're using and all that. You come to the left and you have these nice air vents here for the driver. I like that they are vertical and they're pushing out a lot of air. And you have this screw here, as it is. It's something that many cars are doing now. So you can have an accessory where you can screw in, and then you can place your phone or phone holder or something like that. And then we come down here, you got your turn signal button. It's very, very tactile. Feels really, really good. And I like the ticking sound of their turn signal. And you come to the right and you have your gear lever right where your hand will be, and you've got a nice steering wheel. It's not a huge steering wheel, and they're still going for this roundish design, which is comfortable for many people, and it only flattens a little bit, but that's not a problem because the car itself is tall and is spacious. And so even with my long legs, I still have more than enough room to spare. You can increase the height and move it forward and back as well. And as you can see, your Geely badge in here. You got your buttons here for controlling all the functions, quick functions right at your fingertips. They are not touch sensitive, they're real buttons, so that's really, really nice. Yeah, that's the thing about Chinese cars. Once you press it, so let's see what the steering can do. So you can see it goes far back, and you can actually raise it quite high, and it can go up and down. So this is the highest position, and this is the lowest position. So yeah, I think every driver is going to have enough configuration to their satisfaction. And we come down here, you got two air vents coming from here as well. They are huge as well. It's putting out really nice air right now. You got 50-watt wireless charging pads, and it's ventilated as well, so your phone is not going to heat up. And if you come down here, of course, this is a China specific model. If it's going out there, it's definitely going to have English at least. But these days, most of the interface of Chinese cars can be configured in English and a few other languages, so that wouldn't be a problem. And then you have this very tactile button to swivel through different functions of the car. You can see what's going on the screen, and if I just keep quiet, you hear how it sounds. Very satisfying. And you've got these buttons here for different functions. You press here. It's this nice wood. It's real wood. And then it reveals your cup holders. The cup holders look kind of smallish and they are not adjustable, but I'm sure they've done their homework and it will fit most bottles that you have in the market. And here we have the center storage area. You press it. It's this flip two-side door thing, and the inside is lined with felt. It's not too deep, but it's very longitudinal, so you're gonna fit a lot of things in there, and things will not rattle about because it's lined with felt, and you can close the individual doors. Now let's take a little bit more detailed look at the screen. So when I press the screen, this is really nice, guys. So you have the screen divided into two parts. You have the music area, and I'm sure you can configure it any way you want. You get mapping here, you get car information, you got your seating configuration as well for the passenger. And if we go down here, you have your quick settings for this one for populating your apps, and you can see how clear this looks. If I just pull up the movie, you can see how clear it is. So when you're stationary, I'm not sure they will allow you to watch movies when you're driving, but the rear passengers, of course, and maybe the front passengers as well. And you have car information. Even if you don't read Chinese and the language is in Chinese, you have symbols here to help you to be able to navigate. So you have HUD, you have your mirror settings. That's the thing. I don't want to press. Once you press it, it populates something. There's so much information here. You get your temperature information, temperature settings, seat information, 360 camera, and you can see how crisp it is. If I just point outside, you can see it's getting dark, but with the lighting in the showroom already, you can see how clear it is. And then you have your power battery information. You have your mapping, as you can see right there. And then you have call information, call settings. And then you also have another button, not sure, maybe for fuel or something. And then you have a turn by. Once you engage a different setting besides the map, you have a turn by turn indicator here. So you're never gonna miss. And once you press to go back to the map, it gets lost. So that's a really nice touch. And like I said, this is where you get all your information, your settings about your seating and stuff like that. So overall, it looks really, really nice. And I like this roof here, separate roof for the driver. And if you look up here, this is the fuel consumption. So it's 3.29 liters per 100 kilometers. Let me get closer. So it's going to be really, really economical, this car. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm truly grateful. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so we can grow this channel together. Till I see you in the next video, guys. Ride legal, ride safe always. Peace, and I'm out.